Hey gang, welcome to another episode of Mike's Epic Podcast. This is a big day. We're talking about the Blackmagic Design ATEM Mini Pro. This thing is awesome. It is by far one of the coolest inventions to come out lately. What it does is it replaces maybe a $50,000 TV studio into $600. Absolutely amazing. Now you need some other gear to connect to it. We're going to talk about that today. So let's go ahead and dive in. We've got the ATEM Mini Pro, and it's got 4 HDMI inputs that we've plugged in various cameras. You can see all here as Tom's on our studio. We've got what we call the streaming in a bag, and all the stuff that you need as a kit to stream video to Facebook or something like that with the ATEM Mini Pro is all set in a kit in a bag for you ready to go. So we're going to talk through all the stuff that's in there and how it all connects. Hey gang, from the magic of editing, here we are in the Lincoln Mall, and we're going to go through and talk about all the stuff that's in the streaming in a bag kit. We are super grateful for the federal funding we were able to get. Century College and the Perkins funds are very generous, and so we're able to provide this for you students so that we can get jobs in this area of producing small corporate videos with a really cool switcher. So the bag comes, it's this color, kind of dark colored bag. The other things that'll come with it is the bag for this ring light. So this ring light, you've seen them in the YouTube stuff. Really nice beauty light that you can use for close-up work with your talent. It comes with an iPhone connector, or you can put any sort of camera in there behind it if you're using a C100 or something else. So, but kind of a nice little beauty light. The other thing that comes external outside of the bag is the TV set. So we need to have a TV set. This is just a small, 24-inch TV that's going to take the HDMI 1 input. So your multi-view out of the ATEM Mini Pro goes to HDMI 1. Of course, there's a remote control that comes with this, but it's nice and small, can fit on your table next to your switcher. So put that over here. We've got the lid off the box so the legs can stay on there. You can just use this and take this along with you for your setup. Now let's look at the other stuff that comes in the box. In the bag, excuse me. So there's a couple nice new stands, general purpose stands. They've got a 1/4-20 screw on the top, and that can work with lots of different things. We also have an adapter. So this is a 3/8 baby pin adapter that'll go on here and connect to a 1/4-20 as well. Then we've also got an additional iPhone or smartphone holder, 1/4-20 connector on the bottom with that. These are all coming in nice little protective bags. We've got a microphone set up. So this is a really nice condenser mic. It's got an adapter here. It can go to a 1/4-inch or a 3.5 millimeter. We've got an extension cable that goes with this. Here's the clip, and this is the charger. So the charger goes onto the bottom here in this little hole, little USB charger to charge up your battery inside the condenser mic. Also got a couple lights. So these all need batteries. That we've provided some, but you can get some more, and there's just a dial on here, a little power dial here for some nice little, throw some more lights, and these with the 1/4-20 can fit onto the stands. Working our way down, and we got a couple more adapters. So this is a USB-C connector to HDMI. So if you have a USB-C laptop or something, you want to go HDMI, and then this is the iPhone Lightning cable to HDMI. We've also provided you with a camera, so not a super expensive camera, just a little Panasonic but it does have an HDMI out. So there's the, we'll keep this in the box, has an HDMI cable that can, well, that's the charger. There's an HDMI cable that comes with this that's going to go to the switcher. And of course you can power it in so you can just use it without having to actually record. Of course there's other cables. We've got an extension cable for you. We've got a short Ethernet cable that'll connect to the ATEM Mini Pro for controllers. We've got 4 just HDMI to HDMI. So you find some sort of adapters or however your cameras or your other things are going to connect to this, and that'll connect to the ATEM Mini Pro. And don't forget, oops, sorry, over here we've got a inexpensive, lightweight tripod. Extends out nice and long, but it takes the little quarter 20 plug on there, and that can connect to your Panasonic camera or whatever you want to use. So at least you have one camera and one nice tripod input. Let's look at the back of the ATEM Mini. So we're going to keep this box as sort of a protective case for the ATEM. Let's take it up here and look at it over here on top of the table, shall we? So this is the back side of the ATEM Mini Pro. Here's microphone 1 and 2. You could do just one as we've provided. 1, 2, 3, 4, just your standard HDMI inputs. However, at source you're getting, here's your HDMI out. And now this is, we're going to switch this to the multi-view. So our HDMI out to the TV set and do HDMI 1 on the TV. USB out, this is USB-C. This is what we're going to connect to the hard drive. Should be formatted as Mac journaled. And you can record and save your footage out to the USB. And this is the controller Ethernet cable. This is going to go from here to the Mac Mini or to any other computer that has the ATEM control software. And then of course that's the power, nice little screw-on thing here so it doesn't get pulled out accidentally in your productions. So that's all the stuff that comes in the streaming in a bag. So you can really get started. Hopefully we want you to check this out, practice with it, learn how to use it, and be prepared for those jobs that I think that are going to come because of the times that we're in. They're starting to realize that they've got to do productions remotely, but they just on their own can't get them to look very good. And so they're going to need a professional that knows how to run this type of gear and get, I guess we say, a low budget, but a switched production to look really nice to stream onto the interwebs. All right? So good luck. This is going to be awesome. Now we're back again in the studio with everything connected from the kit. I'm using a short Ethernet cable to go from my Mini, my Mac Mini, or whatever computer you're using to control the switcher, connected with that. And then I've also got a hard drive connected. Here's my hard drive with the USB-C. So now we've got this all connected, and we have a, the other thing is a HDMI out is going to the little small TV set that goes with the kit, and this is doing the multi-view out. Let's show you on the computer how to get this set up. So with a few of our kits, we have a computer included. You could use your own laptop. And what we're going to do is we're going to launch some ATEM setup software. Now we downloaded this from blackmagicdesign.com, and it should connect with understanding that it's using the Ethernet software, one of the first things you want to do is click on this little button here, and this is the menu. And you want to make sure that the switching mode is set to program preview, not cut bus, right? And then the other ones should be set up just fine. So we're going to click on save there, and then use this button here to launch the other software, which is the ATEM control. So this is a software control, and what this does is in software it gives you a whole switcher. This might look very similar to the TriCaster Mini control surface that we have in the TV studio, or even the mixers that you'll run into at CTV or SCC cable TV outfits. And we want to make sure that we switch this to program preview, because that's how all the switchers normally work. That's an industry standard. You could on the ATEM Mini Pro just jam those selections into the program, but the better system that everybody's functioning in this industry is the preview and the program. And so that's how we're going to do it here. So what we would do is you would click on the number, say 3, and it's green, and that's the preview. And so then up here in the multi-view window, there's the preview, and we can see all of our inputs along the bottom here. Here's our different 4 inputs, 4 cameras, camera 4 being the MacBook Pro, or whatever sort of other input you've got. But whatever I'm previewing, 2, 3, that's in the preview, so the director would call, ready camera 3, and we click on cut here, go camera 3. And so that would now become the program. Maybe we can see our camera 3 has a red line around it, and camera 1 has the green line. So green is preview, red is program, just like this. So we hit cut to go back again. So the director, or in this case, if you're the sort of director switcher together working this outward-facing studio switch with these different cameras, you're going to be selecting this. So you're thinking, I want to do camera 2 and cut to camera 2. Ready camera 3, and I'm ready, go 3. Just like we would at the regular studio. So the plan is, guys, for this to be a situation where you can earn money as a video content creator. There's a lot of demand right now for high quality, or I wish to say better quality, Zoom meetings, small switched productions in which maybe it's the president of the company or some salesperson is wanting to do a multi-camera switch, but they don't want to do a whole studio. They're just doing it in their office. And with the right equipment, meaning this $600 ATEM Mini Pro, you can produce something that looks really professional. We need multiple cameras, we need a TV set, we need the ATEM Mini Pro, and we need some sort of computer with a Ethernet connection that's going to control our system. So the duration, these buttons here and these buttons here all work with this auto button here. The cut is just a cut back between camera 2 and 3 right now. I'm just cutting back and forth depending on what was preview and program. But if I do the auto button, now that's going to do a prearranged dissolve. In this case, it's a mix, and it has the certain amount of time. Is it 1 second or half a second? We click on dissolve here, now mix, it goes pretty slow. The standard is 1 second. Hit auto and it mixes those two together. Now we can also dip to color, and the color can be selected in the software. Automatic, there's a dip to white. How about a push? There's a push command. How about a kind of a squeeze? You're getting this, right, Kevin? Mm-hmm. Click on this squeeze as our effect. We've also got a kind of a wipe, and here's a wipe this way, up and down. And those would be the automatic duration, and automatic effects. Now there's a whole bunch of effects built into the software which we can queue up, but just from the control panel as the basic automatic effects, that's what we have. We'll go back to mix and mix that. Now you'll see over on the software that comes with the program, this looks very similar to the control bus in the cable TV place. We could, in software, instead of doing the automatic, 1 second sort of duration, we can grab this bar and ever so slowly fade one to the other. Or if we have, say, the wipe, we're going to ever so slowly wipe from one to the other. But that's in the software. If we're just going to use the tabletop control surface, then we're using the auto button and the duration here to affect that. Switch that back to mix because that's what we normally are going to use, a mix sort of cross dissolve. While we're here, why don't we go ahead and talk about some of these buttons so you know how this is working. So we talked about these large 4 buttons. Those are our signals to preview and cut to the different camera angles. So we've got 4 inputs that we can use, but actually you can count 6 if you want to, because our still image gets loaded into the software. I've loaded a Star Wars image here. We click on still, and now our still is previewed, hit cut, and now the still is programmed. And so you can see that that moves the green and red as well. And so 4 video inputs, 1 still image, and then count it 6 if you count 1 as black. So we want to cut to black as another source. So actually 6 inputs, 1 of them being a still image, 1 being black. So if we go back to, say, camera 1 and click on still as our preview, switch over here to the software, and we can decide that we want to, over here under media player, we can switch to a different image that we've preloaded. Let's go to media here on the bottom row, and we can choose different images. I'm working on getting the lower thirds to work. Right now it's functioning just as a full graphic, but you drag it down here to the one that you want it to be of your different choices, and that's the image that it's going to be. So then we can use that in cut and auto. So those are our inputs. We can, above this, you can see all of these buttons right here are for audio. All these buttons above here are audio. So this AVF means that it's going to auto follow video. So if I had a microphone connected to this particular camera and I wanted that every time I showed it, it had that microphone. Maybe I got different people on set and they all have their different microphones, and I switch to their image, I want the audio to follow that. So that's just sort of an automatic audio follow video. But one of the things we also have in the kit for you is a microphone. And it's a little microphone that plugs into the back of the Mini Pro. And so we can use mic 1 and mic 2. You can say mic 1 is on all the time and all these other microphones are off. So it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to always be this microphone connected. Now this is a internal battery. It's a really nice condenser mic, but it's not charged up at the time of this viewing, so we're going to just show that that plugs in, and that's how you would turn it on. So there's 2 mic inputs, or you can have all the mics going. Maybe you have a mic following with one of your C100s. That's one of your inputs. Now let's see, which is the C100? It's the image 3 there, Kevin? Mm-hmm. So what we've got is some little Panasonics. Maybe you can see this one here. So in your kit is at least 1 camera It's a Panasonic that, you know, it's kind of okay, but it's got an HDMI out and it gets you at least one camera. These are all HDMI cables, and so you can use the C100, you can use the Panasonic, you can use any other camera that you have that's got some sort of HDMI out. You can even use an iPhone. So here's an iPhone, and with this comes with a holder in the kit, and this holder can go sideways. There's a camera sideways, and it also comes with an adapter, so Lightning to HDMI adapter, and that can be one of our inputs here. So if you are running out of cameras, you want 4 inputs, you can always use an iPhone or something like that to get the connection. So that's over here, we talked about that, so 4 inputs plus still plus black, 6 inputs. Up here we've got buttons for picture-in-picture. Camera 1, if I click 1 on here, camera 1 then becomes the picture-in-picture. So even if I do camera 3, cut, and camera, and it turned off my picture-in-picture, I turn camera, picture-in-picture back on, it's always camera 1 that shows up in there. So no matter what you've got for your program signal, it's pulling camera 1 to be the picture-in-picture. And you can see you can make it go to different corners. That's basically your 4 corners. Of course, there's more settings in the software that you can change, but right here from the control panel, it's those 4 corners. Camera 1 showing up as a picture-in-picture. And this might be a good setup if you're doing some sort of a gaming session or something in the way of like a training video where you've got the big picture is the screencast or something like that, or the image from the computer, but you want a little picture-in-picture off to the side, or it's coming from your game or something like that. So kind of a nice feature to have. So on the unit again, so we talked about these are the inputs, these are the microphones that follow them. We got cut and auto effect with the duration and the different effects here. This button here is a fade to black, FTB fade to black. So no matter what, like in this case, I've got camera 3 as my program. It's the end of the show, fade to black. It just dissolves with our duration to go to black. And then now black is flashing, telling us our more or less off air. So I press that on again and it turns itself off. So we could even use that to fade up from black. So we want to go to camera 3. Let's go here. We've all prepared. So we're going to go to camera 3 to start, and then camera 2 after that. So ready, fade up from black. Push that. Oh, Travis, you got to turn those on again. Fade up from black or fade to black with that button there. Now this little section right here is just our video out. So if we're looking at this signal here to our TV set, right now we're doing the multi-view. MV is multi-view, but we can say that we always want program to go out, or we want a particular camera, 1, 2, or 3 to go out. And there's my signal 4. So but we usually use that on multi-view. And now up at the very top here, some more buttons. This is the upstream key. And we're going to get into that in a subsequent episode, so stay tuned. But these 2 buttons are interesting. They're for streaming and for recording. So the Blackmagic from this unit can stream to Facebook, it can stream to Twitch, it can stream to YouTube. You need to have like the streaming key and type that in. There's a whole system in here, and gets a little more complicated than beyond the scope of this particular video, but know that all that stuff is in there. Most of the time, I think in our situations, we're going to want to just record what is being produced. Then we can take that into Final Cut Pro, add an intro to it, add fixes if we stumbled on something like I did a little earlier. So what we want to do is hit the little button right here, because I've got a disk, so the little green light knows that there's a disk connected. It's a USB, well actually it's a hard drive, eSAT, and it goes to a USB-C. On this unit is USB-C. So you need that type of adapter. Press on record, and it's going to start recording, and we can see in the little window in the bottom row here for recording that it's recording. The name of the disk, I already made it, knows the name of the disk, ATEM Capture 1. So even though I'm going to cross that out, it'll say ATEM Capture 1, and we're starting to record. So whatever is coming through the program. So we've made our show, we're doing our cuts back and forth, very nice, cuts back and forth. We've made our show and we've recorded it right there. Yep, so we're going to save that the streaming, we're going to save the keying, the green screen, all that stuff. A lot of that is in here. In our palettes, we've got the color generators, upstream key, downstream key, all those different things. Our outputs of what we're going to, all these things that we're doing on the surface here can be programmed in here or even controlled in here if you want to. You're a little bit used to seeing this from the cable TV place. You want to do it with the click of the button here. You can do that too. There's the cut button back and forth. So that's getting you started on the Blackmagic Design ATEM Mini Pro. We think this is going to be a job opportunity, and so we're really happy to be showing this to you and get you started on it. So have practice, have fun, and we'll talk to you later.